Finally, my Wing Gundam Zero custom action figure will have some company on the shelf. This is the review for the ArchEnemy Collector Series Tallgeese III action figure. Let's take a look at the box. So looking at the box here, you get a clear plastic window so you can plainly see the action figure as well as the accessories that come with the figure. On the back of the box you get this awesome looking picture of the Tallgeese in action. You get a detailed description of the pilot as well as the mobile suit and shots of what the action figure can do. And here, my friends, is the Tallgeese III action figure unleashed from its packaging, and it looks great. As you can see here, it's actually panel lined, which is very nice for an action figure, and it also has some shading there. Much like the Wing Gundam Zero custom action figure, it does have that shading too as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the figure. Do a little 360 rotation here. This guy looks pretty cool. Now, I have to admit I don't know a lot about this particular mobile suit, but since I got the Wing Gundam Zero custom action figure from the ArchEnemy line, I decided to get this. I actually got this as part of a lot. I got it really cheap because I got it as part of a lot. So there it is. I guess we'll do a close-up look here and show you some of that shading. You can kind of see it there around the panel lining. You should be able to see it right there. Just a very nice shading details and very nice panel lining. Look at the head there. Even the weapons, as you can see, are panel lined. It's got some almost like a purple shading there. Just fantastic detail. I'm really impressed with the detail of this figure. So I guess we'll start with accessories. You do get two closed fist hands, as you can see here, and you do get a open right hand. The immediate problem that I noticed is that when you take these two beam sabers, which you can place them in the right hand, but you don't really have a hand to hold it on the left hand, as you can see here. It just, there's not the type of grip you need, which is odd because you have two beam sabers, and I'm assuming this is a mobile suit that can wield two beam sabers since it's included with the figure. So that's kind of interesting. You do get this very nice heat rod, and each of these segments are articulated. As you can see, they bend, and I'm just noticing now they rotate, so they must all be on ball joints. So they're very flexible, which is very nice. And you can see even these are panel lined, and they've got some shading there, if you can see right there. So fantastic detail. As you can see, he's got the shield here. Now you can mount the beam saber handles in the shield. As you can see, there's some slots right here and here, some like square shaped openings where you can mount the beam saber handles. You can see the shield itself has a handle on it. Now as far as the shield goes, it doesn't appear to be detachable, which is not a bad deal because it's always going to be with a figure. You can't lose it really. I mean, if you wanted, you could probably detach it, but it's not going to go back on like it was from the factory. So then you've got this very nice weapon here, and this also does not detach, which is fine. And as you can see here, I've got it kind of in the storage position, hanging off the shoulder. And you got some. Well, I guess you can take a look here, a closer look at the back. Even the back is very nicely detailed. There's some vents there on the back skirting. Again, the thrusters themselves are panel lined. Fantastic detail. So before I go on, let's go ahead and go on to articulation. The head rotates. It does go 360. The shoulders move, although they're kind of hindered by these thrusters, although the thrusters are attached to the shoulders, so you really could rotate them around like that. As you can see, it looks kind of silly though, but they do rotate. The arms can go out just a little bit. You're limited by this shoulder armor right there. You got a rotation at the arm, or upper arm. You've got a bend at the elbow, which is pretty nice, as you can see there. I don't know, I'm not sure if the master grade, if you can bend it farther than that. Those of you who have the master grade, let me know in the comment section if they can actually do a full bend. Of course, rotation at the wrists. Wrists are just on a ball joint, of course. Now going back to the shield, you can see here it rotates at one point there, like this, rotates around, and then you've got this other point of contact here where it can rotate like that, or swivel. There is waist articulation, although very slightly, because you can see how it's clashing with the side and front skirt armor. You've got articulation at the legs, and there's really nothing on the side to get away except for actually this piece of armor here, which, as you can see, rotates. But I suppose if you could, well, it can go out just like about that. Forwards, back slightly until it runs into the back skirt. Swivel, of course. Bends at the knee, and it really doesn't feel like it wants to go farther than that. Yeah, it really doesn't feel natural to go beyond that point, so that's about all the bend you're going to get. I might be able to force it, but I don't really want to do that and risk breaking it. Then you got articulation at the ankles. As you can see, kind of an interesting looking ankle and foot section here. And even the bottom of the feet or boots are panel lined. So you got rotation at the ankles. So, going back to the thrusters, they actually deploy out like this. You can have these little winglets come out like that, and then they open up to reveal the thrusters, as you can see there, which is really nice. Fantastic looking, fantastic detail. Unfortunately on mine, you can see it's at this joint there, it's kind of loose, so that's unfortunate. But the thrusters rotate, well, they go up and down like that, rotate around, and as you saw, they can open up to reveal the actual, thrusters themselves right there. Close those up, and those just hang off of the back of the shoulder armor right there. Okay, so let's take a look at the Mega Cannon, which is mega cool. As you can see right now, it's stored on the side, but you can rotate it up, and then you can actually have the handle go into the open hand there. As you can see, it's got a nice little hand guard there. It's kind of cool. And this weapon has a kind of a burst mode. What you're supposed to do is pull these two pieces apart, and then these thin pieces come out like that. I've had some trouble off camera doing it, so let's see if I can have better luck at this moment. See, this one kind of goes down like that, locks a little bit in place. See if I can get this one go. There we go, I think. Yep. Sort of, yeah. So you can see there's like a beam. Well, this is the Mega Cannon's burst mode, if you will. I think it would give the Virtue a run for its money. So, looks pretty cool there. And again, once again, nice detail. Panel line and everything. You got the hoses or the conduits for the actual Mega Cannon. So it looks really nice. I just noticed there's nice detail on the side armor here. So the shield does have a offensive weapon that you can plug in. You've got this heat rod, and it's on a ball joint. Just plug it into the socket there. And you can see quite nicely how it can be used to grab onto enemy mobile suits, and it's really cool they have this feature in the actual action figure. So you can use quite a bit of posing here because of the flexibility and the articulation of the heat rod. So really nice, really cool weapon, really cool feature of this particular mobile suit, but also this particular action figure. Uh-oh. Looks like things are about to get ugly. So, final thoughts on the Tallgeese III ArchEnemy Collector Series figure. It's a very nicely, highly detailed figure. As I mentioned before, it's got panel lining, it's got shading effects. The weapons, the shield, are very nice. They're very nicely detailed. They also have panel lining. And just a very nice figure to display on your shelf, because it does stand about 7.5 inches tall. So, very nice size for that figure. The couple of the downsides or the cons for this figure, well, the first thing I mentioned about the hand or lack of a hand for the left hand. Let's pretend this is the left hand. They don't really have a way that you can grasp the beam saber in the left hand because the hand is sculpted like this. So really, you can sort of try to get it in there, but it's just most likely going to fall off. So that's unfortunate. I don't know why they didn't include like a beam saber handle hand for the left hand. So the other drawback or con to this figure is is a bit of looseness out of the box. I noticed certain joints are really loose when when I don't think they should be. Like this one here is kind of loose, and some of the other ones were. So as I was reviewing it, I noticed it was pretty loose, and sometimes I struggled to get it to stay in form. So that's unfortunate. And it's not just this Tallgeese III. It's also I had this problem with the Wing Gundam here action figure. So there might be some issues there, maybe just with mine, but maybe not, because I have two examples of the ArchEnemy Collector Series figures, and they both have some of that looseness problem. So, despite those problems, I recommend these figures if you can pick them up. I actually got this as part of a lot. The Tallgeese III came with part of a lot with a Zazabi and also an Evangelion figure for around 24 bucks, which is crazy cheap. So I was really happy to get the Tallgeese III to go along with my Wing Gundam action figure. Well, thanks for watching. This has been my review of the Tallgeese III ArchEnemy Collector Series figure.